Live streaming. Live streaming is the act of pretending you're doing work when you're actually getting bugger all done. So let's do that, champions. What's going on? How are we all? Oh, no signal. Turn on Penny Boy. Alright, audio's good. Desk share is not. There we go. Can't say any boy. What am I? Not bright enough for you. I look really washed out. Why is that? Very little contrast. It looks different. Why does it look different? My display's in sleep mode. Why is the light flickering? I don't know. It's all too hard. Alright, got that job. Got that job. That one next. Trying to get organised, champion. String bongo bass. Boom. Sony boy, he's not focusing on me today. Not sure why. Yeah, so this one's a Music Man bongo bass. I don't know why they called them that, but got some lifting frets. Now the frets are about 1 kilometer long because it's a 6-string bass. So we'll see if we can clamp them down. But if not, we might have to pull a fret and re-fret 1 or 2 positions, which is not great for a $1 million bass. Is that going to fit in my rack? No, it's not. Of course not. What else have we got? Headstock crack and a Gibson. Crazy, I know. J200. Another $8,000 guitar that you've got a baby. Otherwise it'll snap in half. We've got a Yngwie, you know, that wanker who plays 1 billion notes a second. Jerk off. One of his strats over here, which has got a strip trem block. So we've got a new trem block with one of those tremolo arms. It looks like the end of a guitar plug. Yeah. G'day Robbie, g'day Jason, g'day Mark, g'day Rich. Paul can't make it. Okay. All good, mate. You know where to find it. Everyone else, I'm not going to read out everyone's names, but g'day champion from across the Dutch. Is that scallop fretboard on that Strat? Yeah, it's an Yngwie thing. I can't listen to Yngwie anything because to me it just sounds like utter trash. It's like some of the worst music ever made. And knowing that the guy's a complete douchebag makes me just gag when I hear anything he plays. So fuck that guy. Just going over all my, I got just paperwork shit. Filters might turn off noise suppression. Not sure why the video looks weird. It's like low brightness, like it's gone into power saving mode, but unless I dislodge the connector. Are we back? I think that's better. I think I must have dislodged the charge connector. Yeah, that's better now. The LCD on the laptop doesn't go dark, but it goes real low contrast. It almost goes to like it's going down to like 8-bit color or like 4-bit color or something. But yeah, now it's looking good again. All right, sweet. Must have bumped that charge connector, or maybe it's a bit dirty. For once, it's above freezing and sunny here in US mid. Yeah, it's starting to warm up over there now. Ice have finally melted. You still got about 3 foot of snow. Oh yeah, but you're in Narnia, Mark. We don't worry about that. Today I'm playing my lovely Epiphone LP Fake Cherry Burst DIY Peter Green tribute. Having a wonderful time. So, what, you created a relic off an Epiphone, did you? Absolutely, I can't understand what it's about. All that guitar playing he does. Yeah, it's so boring, man. There's no, I don't know. I couldn't think of anything more boring than listening to Malmsteen. Like I'd rather fucking pull my fingernails out than sit through a concert. Omelette Socks, the best profile name person is here. Omelette Socks. I had this frozen ice crap for almost 3 weeks. Very painful to walk on, regardless of boots or shoes. Wouldn't it just be like concrete? I know it's slippery, but straight 80s, bro. I don't know. I'm more punk than guitar wankery. Couldn't think of anything more fucking boring. Rightio. Notes. Where are we up to? Find a fresh page. Now I have to just sort of summarize all my jobs because everything's such a mess here at the moment and so much bullshit going on. And so many people wanting me to drop everything and look at their job before everyone else's, and it's getting very fucking frustrating that everyone wants that, and just, no, go away. Where do I go to? I don't know. But there's no one else. Not my problem. Not my problem. Okay, we've got TC Electronic G system, which I just repaired. That's got to get invoiced. Got a Gallien Kruger that I need to order more parts for that have been ordered 5 days ago and still haven't shipped from Mouser. Mouser, for some reason, is sitting on orders for like 5-6 days before they even fucking ship them, and then they take like a week to get here. So it's taken like 2 weeks to get parts from Mouser, where it used to take like 3 or 4 days. So yeah, the whole place is in a state of affairs. Fishman, buzzing in amp, that's resolved. Just got to fix the customer's damage done to the cabinet. And for that I need an M3 T-nut, which is not available. But I had a issue with the speaker in this Fishman amp. It's just one of those rechargeable things. And the speaker itself, from the factory, it's like they left too much slack on the wires there. See the wires that go to the cone and then they come up underneath the dust cap and they go to the voice coil. So they move with the cone, right? But they had too much slack on the wires, so the wires were flapping against the cone at certain frequencies. So I had to like pull like a good 1/2 inch, like desoldered that, pulled them through like another 1/2 inch, and then resoldered them, and that resolved it. But I've never seen that before, and that's apparently another member of their band's got the same amp and they've got the same issue. So it's probably a batch issue where they just left too much slack on the wires. Because once I did that, it resolved it and it was all good. Crazy. Every day we're finding new fuck ups that we've never seen before from these manufacturers. There's always a new way to fuck up, champions. Where's he going, mate? The YM Strat is nice. to do like a scallop board and a Strat. Shame it has his name on it. Yeah. Yeah, it's a fine Strat other than that. Just put an order in DigiKey. Got a warning that due to high volume of orders will be delayed in getting fulfilled. Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't think it's because of a high volume of orders. I think it's that they've just lost the ability to ship fast because of various other factors. But yeah, I don't know. But I think the DigiKey, I think going back to Avid days, before pre-Avid days, DigiKey shipped within a day or two of the order, and mouse is still sitting on it, and I ordered the same day. But granted, it was like a $2,200 order with Mouser. It did show everything was in stock, ready for shipping, immediate shipping. It says in the order confirmation. No relic, I went for shiny new look, just like Peter's guitar looked like in '67. It's the out of phase PAF style pickups that make the guitar. Yeah, a lot of people want that, and then you do it, and they're like, "Oh no, that's fucking horrible." Okay, well, it's certainly not for everyone. It's not for every song either. Everyone's getting into fixing things. I don't think that's it, Rich. I think it's more manufacturing. It's probably, I don't know, like, could it be like the AI fucking bubble manufacturing shit? I don't know. I don't think they'd order off DigiKey. They'd order directly from the manufacturers. They'd order directly from the fabricators, wouldn't they? I just paid $62 for 20 film caps and 10 clock crystals, including 44% tariffs. What the fuck are you building, Wes? 10 clock crystals? $62 for 20 film caps? What the fuck are you building? That's curious. There was an interesting related conversation the other day on one of your videos. Really? I was talking about yeah, how things are just taking like 2 weeks to get here. So then if you got to order something again, then you're like 4 weeks in, and that's not counting labor or queue juggling. Who's this Malmsteen bloke of who you speak? I've never heard of him until I started to watch guitar YouTube. Been listening to rock and roll since 1969. Never heard of him. Yeah, best keep it that way, Robbie. There's no fun to be had in his camp. Just worship. And fuck that. Sitting here working, watching video of yours in the background, and then see you live. Hey, here I am. I am to please. Yeah, so I'll put that job sheet there because Dad's in town. He can check that amp out. I couldn't find fault with it. That's a AC50CP2. It's apparently a intermittent failure, but I think it's... Look, it happens all the time. People are like, oh, yeah, it only does it every now and then. And I go over the whole thing. There's nothing wrong with it. I've got to charge for that time. And then it turns out to be some other cable or something that they haven't checked. The clock crystals are for 2 digitally controlled power conditioners. What, you're building them? Wes? So you're powering a micro with them or something. Man, it's fucking hot in here, eh? I think I need to put the air conditioning on straight away. Because it is humid. We've had like Queenslandy weather here for the last 3 weeks. They can go over there, actually. I've got to write up invoices for that. What of this is just going to be me trying to figure out whose amps whose. We got so many amps in the queue, man, and there's like 3 or 4 of some models. Liz, here you going, legend? Sorry, I got no flame throwers here to please your woofle sensibilities, but... Ignator. All right. Hi. What? I'm not even going to be able to do these in the order they came in because some of them I didn't write the date. I've got 2 AC30s here. One of them's had the quote approved. The other one I need to follow up. High Watt T40, Rivera M60, 59 Baseman, Tweed Baseman reissue. Ignator something or other. AC30, I don't know why that's still there, because I've written that quote and that's been approved, so that's in the wrong pile. JTM45 quote for build. Yeah, not interested at the moment. And then back into the stuff I've half assessed. I'm going to have to decline some of these jobs that have come in, I think, just give them back, because they're just too fiddly, too involved, and not worth the time. And JTM45 build quote can go at the bottom of the pile, because I've got no time to build anyone anything. I've got no time to even do groceries, let alone build someone an amp from scratch at the moment. Let's put those jobs after that job. And guitar wise, I think I've got Luke coming in today. I haven't confirmed that with him though. Luke, if you're watching. No setup work, everything's more involved. Stainless steel refret, ovation bridge replacement, Mexican telly with paint touch up, polyurethane, Music Man bongo bass, lifting frets, which I just showed you. Fender Paramount Orchestra departed bridge repair, Jazzmaster route for middle pickup, that's at the home workshop. Eastman mandolin, replace tailpiece, restring and service. I don't have strings in stock, so I can't do that one either. Those jobs are on hold until the owner, the customer, gets another job. Bridge pickup replacement, plug existing volume pothole, remove tone control, volume only, restring setup and service. Case inquiry, no. And new bridge for a classical acoustic. So nothing simple around here. There's no just basic setup work at the moment. Everything's like a massive fucking multiple hour job. Nothing's cut and dried. Nothing can get put through and returned to the customer without like 6 hours labour. Which really sucks when you got a full queue. You just want to turn shit over, but you can't. Everything's a massive involved job with unknown complications and parts that you need to order and all of that shit. So this one came in with a jack tip broken off, and customers are always really optimistic when they drop their amp off, and they think that if they will it to be so, then it will become so, that it's a cheap and easy job. I have become very pessimistic over the years and just say, mate, just stop, let me figure it out first. Oh yeah, it's just a blown fuse. Oh, dude, yeah, it's just a broken off jack. No, there's always extra shit, and they pretend like the extra shit wasn't there. That's not necessarily the case with this one, but it came in for a broken off jack plug tip in the input jack. And yeah, just a quick repair. And I'm like, yeah, no worries. If we can get it out without disassembling the amp, then sweet. We'll just leave it at that. Like, I don't know, 15-minute charge. And then we fire it up. There's no signal, no HT, no nothing, no signs of life. Well, the lights turn on, but that's it. So, yeah, there's more to it. So I said, okay, well, what was going to be a quick and easy job now has to go into the queue. And we need to assess it, because it's probably got a blown HT fuse. So let's suss that out. And yes, it does. Doesn't look like a violently blown fuse though, so it could be a nuisance blow. Nuisance blow. Is there such a thing? I'll just tape that up there. So these amps are a bit of a pain in the ass to get into. Groceries are for weaklings, eat the slower customers. Man, I'm really paying for last night today. Spent some time in a buddy's hot tub. Now I'm covered in a rash. Ugh. Gross. Standard hot tub. Bromine instead of chlorine. Got kind of drunk. Bromine instead of chlorine. Got kind of drunk and was sat in it for probably 2 hours. Bromine? What do you have bromine for? Yeah, that's weird. Alright, we've got some questions back here. I don't know if they're for me or if you're talking amongst yourselves. Do you ever put a loop pedal to play on the intermittent amps to play in the background while you fix something else? Not really, because I don't want to hear the same fucking riff over and over again. I just put a signal into it and put my meters on it, and if it drops signal, then the meters beep at me. The amp doesn't know if you're playing guitar or feeding it a sine wave, unless it's a mechanical thing. It's just producing signal, bro. Fuse fatigue? Yeah, I don't think so. It looks a bit more violent than that. Apparently it's a thing supposed to be gentler than chlorine. Maybe it doesn't smell, although bromine does have a chloriney smell though, doesn't it? But probably at higher concentration. Someone taking that OSHA training a bit literal. Just wash the tub out with water and ammonia. So what? Yeah, but do you reckon it's a reaction to the chemical, Dustin, or do you reckon it's literally bacteria? Because if it's bacteria, it would have taken longer than last night to affect you. It sounds like it might be the chemical itself that's affecting your skin. Don't know. That's not big on hot tubs. I'm not a big fan of them because no one maintains them properly, and I'd rather just go for a swim at the beach. Bromine, chlorine, fluorine are all in the halogen family of compounds. They have similar properties, but skin can react differently. Yeah, yeah. I did high school chemistry. That's about as far as I went with that. Fluorine is fucking scary shit. Pretty sure it was the chemical. Ah, you'd be right then. Just have a bath, chill out. All right, let's get into this thing. I'm not just going to pop a new fuse in there. I'll inspect it first and give the valves a test. So this one has the EL84s and 6V6s. Now I still haven't manufactured a can you just fucking stay focused where Sony, where's the manual focus button? Fucked if I know. I'm going to go through the menu for that, where it's just a button on top of the bloody panny boy. Sony's a fucking pain in the ass. Manual focus? No. Quick menu? Where the fuck's the button for that? Who knows? Okay, can I access that from the screen? Yes. Manual focus. Alright, where am I in focus there? What's the point of having autofocus on a Sony if it's the wrong zone? Maybe if I go autofocus. Okay. Then set the... How do you access the focus method? No? Touch focus? Don't tell me I've literally got to go to the menu for that. Display? No. ISO auto? I don't want ISO auto. Invalid during USB streaming. I can't tell what buttons I'm pressing. Focus mode. Focus area. Zone? I don't fucking know. I haven't got time for this shit. Okay, good enough. I think we're still in autofocus. Whatever. I'm getting my drill because this is getting tedious. Brad, when are you going to sell me one of those Delta Blues PCBs you made? I never made any Delta Blues PCBs. Someone keeps sending me emails that I need to sell them something that I haven't made yet. I'm like, no. It really makes me not want to produce any content when there's a project that's not economically viable, but people still demand that I do it. And then when you give them a price, they go, no, that's too expensive. It's like, well... But yeah, there's no point restoring any PVMs. Just throw them in the fucking bin, mate. They're not worth the time or money. They're pieces of shit. So, sorry. Just getting a double shot coffee. Go triple shot, mate. Come on, amp it up a bit. Promotion from Major Ethos, a general. What? What are you talking about? Jason, you're confusing me. Saw you were live, so I thought I'd start watching. Oh, okay. General Ethos is a person. Promotion from Major Ethos to General Ethos. Were you Major Ethos before? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, hope you're all doing well. Alright, visual inspection. Now this amp's a bit of a pain in the ass to work on. Oh, someone's replaced the pot. What does that pot do? Treble. I demand that you stop what you're doing and build me a 58 basement. Yeah, that's what it's like, Wes. People are like, oh, you should do this. It's like, well, it's not profitable. Why would I do that? And they're like, oh, because it'd be cool. I'm like, well, as soon as I can pay my landlord with cool, I'll do that. But until then, no. I've had so many requests for assistance in the last, well, pretty much all of Feb. Every day there's like 3 or 4 emails. Oh, I need you to help me with this. It's like, I don't care what you need me to do, because I don't need to do that. Goodbye. But I had one guy who wanted me to handhold him through an amp repair. I think he was in the States. And I said, look, it could be this, could be that. And he's like, what's a phase inverter? I don't understand what you're saying. It's like, well, how the fuck are you going to be able to repair something if you don't even know the terminology I'm using? I had another guy request help and I didn't respond within like, I don't know, 6 minutes. So he left me a bad Google review. Oh no. Tube amp doctor. 6v6. I think we know what the problem is, champions. Ow! Brad, do you drink bourbon or prefer mostly beer? I don't really drink bourbon, but I drink single malt scotch and beer. I'm not a huge fan of bourbon. Most of it tastes pretty unrefined compared to even a basic single malt. Rightio, so it could be one of these assholes, because you know the problems we've had with Tube Amp Doctor. I refuse to use anything from them now, except for maybe the RT006 preamp valve. But hey, let's not count our chickens before they hatch. 21AE batch number does ring a bell though, so could be these running away, since it did blow rather gently. Could be the EL84s too, but I'll pop them in the tester quickly and just see what they do. I might attach a meter to them too, because generally these start to drift over time and go up in dissipation until they blow the fuse. A bit like, well, another email I got. yesterday, day before. Someone had a JCM 2000 DSL or TSL, I can't remember which, 100, and they assumed that they had the leaking, you know, the conductive PCB issue, but it was an issue 20 board, and I said, well, yeah, their layout's not great, but they can be prone to oscillation, but generally bias drift isn't a problem with the issue 20 boards. And just what valves have you got in it? And he said tube amp Dr. EL34s. I go, okay. That's the known failure mode of those valves, and ran him through basically you need to replace them, or if you've got a valve tester, test them, or get them tested, or test them in another amp if you've got another amp lying around, see if they do the same thing. And yeah, it turned out it was the valves, so he doesn't need a new board. So that's good. I mean, I don't want to sell you a new board if you don't need one. I want you to have the cheapest and easiest repair, don't we all? Speaking of PCBs, just got my first run back from JLC PCB for some drive and fuzz pedals, which turned out awesome after watching your KiCad vids. That's awesome, man. You went and figured it out by yourself, or did you use any other training materials? Yeah, KiCad, once you get your head around the stupid library and stuff, if you're just using pretty standard stuff, you don't have to worry too much. But when you start making your own footprints and creating your own libraries and, you know, project specific libraries or global libraries, yeah, that does get pretty confusing pretty quickly. And, yeah, once you get your head around how it all works, it's actually pretty fun. I do enjoy laying out PCBs. Robbie, personally, I'd rather throw a messer off a 10-story building. You don't need to do that to break them. You just need to try and use them. So the frustrating thing is so many messers just never get serviced, and they just sort of keep working for a really long time, like the Caliber series, for example. But when they do fail, they cause a lot of damage, and that usually requires pretty major repair. Some messes fail consistently, but some of them, like some of the rectos, they operate at like 15% bias, so there's like barely any energy being dissipated there. But once you tune them up and bias them properly, they put a lot more stress on the system, so you tend to bias them a bit cooler. They're kind of high gain amps, which that works for anyway. Well, I'm rambling. I'm just going on tangents. Offer still stands. Time, bench rate, hour, plus parts for a BGG AB165, AB864 basement. Will of course have to wait for Mandarin Mussolini's mess to fade in to that past. I think there's a couple of typos there, but at the moment, literally not even the White House knows what tariffs stand. Like, there's no one anywhere on the face of the planet that can tell me what tariffs will be charged if I try to send a package. There's companies that are happy to take 15%, but whether or not it's actually 15%, we don't know. There's literally no official source for this information. It's all just fucking Truth Social. So how the fuck are we supposed to do business? It gets ruled illegal, and then the next day he finds some loophole that enables him to do it in another method for 150 days only, and after that he'll just probably not care. He'll just probably defy the Supreme Court, because why wouldn't he? There's no consequences for anything he does, so therefore it's no longer illegal. Just like insider trading is no longer illegal, it's all of this stuff's legal now, because if you break the law and there's no consequence, well, is it really a law? Like, it's not anymore, is it? KiCad makes me want to pull my hair out. I find easy EDA much more intuitive, but also more limiting in so many ways. TK, how you going, legend? KiCad, I really think that you should ditch everything and just battle on with KiCad, because it becomes second nature. If a fucking idiot like me can figure it out, honestly, like anyone can. And once you got it down, it's the standard now. So I wouldn't fuck around with anything else anymore. It's just way better. Honestly, I would love to find a dead super reverb for less than $1,000, strip it, and build a tweed basement out of it. Why would you do that with a super reverb? Why don't you just do that with a super reverb? Tweed basement? That's a different format of chassis there, Wes. Why don't you just build a tweed basement from scratch? You fucking pussy. Love you, Wes. Yeah, just get a chassis. You can get them anywhere. Tweed basement chassis, they're all over the place. And I think it was the these guys make good ones. Pretty cheap. I think the price has gone up quite a bit, but chassis basement chassis kit. Oh, that's not tweed. That's I thought they had the tweed ones. Huh. I'm sure Mojo Tone or someone does. Mojo Tone tweed basement. Probably CE distro now. That 5v3 that I built and one of my mates bought, I'm trying to remember where I got that chassis, because that was laser etched instead of the silk screen. So that means no matter how much you clean it, no matter what you do to it, the writing won't come off. I can't remember where I found that. And hopefully someone still makes them, but I haven't seen any since. It's literally the only one I've ever seen with that kind of writing. Am I blind? Where are your chassis? Do you sell chassis? Desk chair. Amps. Oh. I must have been in cabinets. Oops. Got any tweed styles, champions? Oh yeah. Standalone reverb, basement, 5F6 style. A year after the 100 watt. You know, another thing you could do, make a high powered twin, perhaps. Do they have a 4 output valve twin? I know my mate Jordan's got one, but I'm not sure who he got it from. Is that a high power twin? 5F8. And what are the controls? You could... I can't remember what the control configuration is, but it doesn't show it anyway. Ugh, shitty website. Documentation? No? This website's a fucking pain in the ass. You click documentation and... What? No? Shit moves and... You know what really pisses me off? When you go to click something these days and then it moves right under your cursor right as you go to press it. It seems to happen more and more every day. Super weird. But anyway. Where are we? So... Rabbit Hole went to LT Spice, which really helped in the design phase, but making your own parts in LT Spice is a shit fight. Yeah, LT Spice isn't good for valves either. It's valve modeling's pretty rudimentary. Honestly, oh no, he's already said that. Oh, what's that blue cube thing? Blue cube thing? Where? Behind me? So to take you back a few minutes, I feel like I missed a memo. What up with the TAD tubes lately, I asked, because I just ordered $400 worth of tubes for a build and all of them with TAD. Okay, so I had nothing but issues with tube amp doctor output valves. Their preamp valves are okay. But all their 6v6s went short circuit, or 50% failure rate. And then the 6L6s started doing the same. They would... slowly increase in dissipation until they'd blow the HT fuse, and again, it was about a 50-60% failure rate. So every time one failed, I'd tell Tube Amp Doctor, and they'd send me a single valve, and then that like would fail. So I'd say that one failed, and then they'd send me another one, and it was over and over again. And it's like, dude, I can't operate like this. I need you to just refund me and I'll send them back, or I need you to send me a whole new batch and I'll send them back. I need something to appease my customers, because they don't want to fuck around and bring shit back and over again, because every time it happens I lose reputation a bit more, and they get the shits with me. They get angry at me and they tell everyone that I'm fucked. So my reputation's suffering to cover Tube Amp Doctor's ass. So I just said, look, just forget it. I'll just fucking never use yours again. But yeah, the failure rate was like 50%. And the EL34s, reportedly, the failure rate's like 20 or 30%, which is still way too high. But yeah, I moved away from them completely. I do still have a few here that I've got in like my amps just to monitor them, but I think I got lucky with a couple of them. But I think it's contamination inside the valve, and they start to, something in there starts to emit a gas when it's heated up, and that makes the what do you call it, emission go through the roof. But you might have got lucky. You might have 2 good ones or 4 good ones or whatever. Oh, you said you ordered $400 worth, but yeah, that's not that many valves these days. So my Hot Rod Deluxe Reverb build is coming along. Hot Rod Deluxe Reverb build is coming along. I want to use a Mercury magnetic so I can use 6L6s in it for higher headroom. Okay, I got confused there. So Deluxe Reverb build that you've hot rodded. Okay. 6L6s in for higher headroom. Well, you're basically building a super there, aren't you? What's your opinion on output transformers? I don't use anything from Mercury Magnetics anymore, because they're too hard to deal with as a company. They just ignore your emails. You order something and you get no order confirmation. You get no ETA, you get no shipping notification, you get nothing. And in 3 to 6 months, your transformer just turns up, and it may or may not be in spec. And for the price, like, you're talking $500, $600, $700 for a single fucking transformer. No, thank you. So they're dead to me as a company. I don't use them for anything. They used to give me a good dealer rate too, but now they give me nothing. So goodbye. You are useless to me. I just use Hammond for everything. If I can't get a Hammond, I just don't fucking do the project. I've heard Haybo are really good too, but it's not worth getting them shipped here. Well, dang. Got a match quad of TAD 6L6s that should be here tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, they might have fixed it by now. I don't know. Try them out and see how you go. Try them out as soon as they turn up, though, so you can return them if you've got issues. Don't let them sit on the shelf. Don't give them any excuse to get out of it. And also, don't use the tube retainers. If you've got the bear trap retainers, either take them off first or push them out a bit, because I've heard of valve manufacturers denying returns because you've got scratches on the valve base. Like, I don't know what the fuck they're going to do with a failed valve. You can't, like, refurbish it, but they'll use any excuse they can to get out of giving you a warranty. So don't mark the valves at all. A pair of TAD EL84s I had went microphonic after 2 years of pretty light use. So TAD don't make valves. Tube Amp Doctor don't make valves. They're all PS Vane valves that have been rebadged. And PS Vane, I think I had a good run with some of their 5881s and EL34s for a while there, but then they went to shit again, just instant failures or being way out of balance. And their 12AX7s were pretty much completely unusable. They were that noisy. One of them was glowing bright purple, gassy, noise, hum, hiss, crackling, completely unusable even in a low gain amp. I even tried to use one as a trem oscillator, and it presented issues there too. So yeah, to me, that if you sell stuff that bad, it's obvious you didn't test it, so you're not an ethical company. I won't deal with you again. Get fucked. That's the same reason I don't use IC caps, even though the ones you can buy off the shelf are relatively good quality. if you're willing to put your name on something that's incredibly shit and sell millions of them and just play make believe that everything's fine, I don't want anything to do with your company. As much as I hate to admit it, building custom AI ML amps for people. What? ML? Oh, apps. I thought you said amps. For people who have no clue. Now, I can't speak today, man. I should just shut up and get to work. ML and generative AI are not the same thing. What does ML stand for? Machine learning? Mercury is under new ownership now, so maybe they will get better or back to where they once were. I find that hard to believe. Have you ever... I think there's only been one case in the last 10, 20 years where a company's bought another company and things have got better. And that's because of Rode buying Mackie. It's only because it's an Aussie company. And we're legends. People say the IC thing was solved, but still see 4 or 5 year. Yeah, it's never been solved. That's people. So a lot of people like to spout off their opinion or whatever when they've got no fucking idea what they're talking about. So they probably saw the fenders and, oh yeah, that's an issue. And then they saw like a new Peavey that used IC brand caps and there was no issue with it. So they assumed that IC has fixed the problem, but what they're not taking into account and just completely oblivious to is the fact that there's different tiers of quality coming out of IC. The ones that Fender have sourced are dog shit caps. If they don't fail within a year, they'll fail within 2. If they make it that far. But if you go to Mouser and you buy IC brand caps, they're fucking really good. They're really good. And no qualms in using them other than the fact that they've got that company's name on it and that company is willing to sell shit. You can't buy caps as bad as the ones Fender use as a consumer. They have some deal going with them where they've ordered a shipping container of the fucking capacitors and IC just makes them to the lowest possible quality and Fender just buys tons, like by the friggin' metric ton of them. And those ones are dog shit. But the ones you buy off the shelf, they're actually really good. But their name has been sullied, and I won't use them. And there's better options. I've been having decent luck with Mullard 6v6s. The last 10 pairs have been fault free. Mullard are just Electro Harmonics rebadged, or new sensor. So I've gone back to Electro Harmonics for 6v6s, and they've been pretty solid. So they're my current 6v6 for a combo, because JJ's just can't get across the microphonics issue. No matter what they do, they've done the dual mica one, so clearly they know it's an issue. But the double mica ones that I ordered were worse than the single mica one straight out of the box. So I don't know. Good morning, Brad. I would welcome your thoughts on a typical hum level for a 6L6 GC single-ended build. Preamp tube is a 6SL7. What hum levels are you measuring? Hot tub can be sterilized with industrial grade hydrogen peroxide. It's used to disinfect big chicken coops. Hydrogen peroxide. Isn't that hair bleach? Haha, same. The first double micas I ordered were microphonic as hell too. Yeah. It's like literally the whole reason they market them, and it means they haven't tested shit, TK. It means they send them out the door and they're just making a sucker of you and me. It's fucking bullshit, eh? Today's LLMs can do some crazy, amazing things if you give them good data and know how to write prompts that limit their ability to hallucinate. Yeah, sure, whatever. The same problem we always had with any software. It's not the software, it's the users. Well... Is one level low today? It looks a bit low. Testing here, yeah. It's up there. Let me just check. I've got my compressor on there. Compressor. Maybe I won't limit you so much. How's that? Is that better? User is a 4-letter word. I don't know. I'm just pretending AI doesn't exist for now, and hopefully the bubble will burst before I've got to admit that it exists. All right, let's test these 6v6s. Let's see what they do. Bing. All right, 200 volts. No light show yet, which is good for Tube Amp Doctor. All right. Pretty balanced. We're up around 420-ish. Looking pretty good so far. I might stick a meter on them, see if they drift over time. Let me just do some calcs to make sure I'm not over dissipating. I'll run them at, say, 60%. Should run them at 100, really, just to test them out. Oh, have we got one climbing? 20.1. 20.2. I think we might have one climbing. One's staying solid and the other one's climbing. 2.2, 20.2, 20.3. It happens slow to begin with, and then it ramps up real quick. 20.4. So what's that? 0.02, because we're talking in amps, multiplied by 422. 8.44 watts divided by 12 watts is 70%. Okay, so we're sitting at 70%. She's slowly climbing, so I might stick a meter on that one. The other one's 20.5. The other one's staying rock solid at 19.4 watts. What? The one on the left is climbing. I'll pop my meter on that. We've got a 1 ohm sense resistor on that, so that's corresponding in milliamps to millivolts to milliamps. I'll set that to max and we'll hear it beeping. 21.2. So we've already gone up a whole milliamp on that side, and the other one's actually gone down. That's probably mains fluctuation. 21.3 and climbing. So yeah, Tube Amp Doctor valves likely. Could be nothing wrong with the amp. Yep, peroxide is... Hi, Gooden, by the way. I try to say hello to everyone, but I'm a bit scattered today. It's been a incredibly hectic week. Crystals explode if you hit them with a hammer. You're getting them confused with mercury fulminate there, I believe. Pastor. Hum with no volume. Hum with no volume? Have I missed any of your comments? Let me just have a look. I'll just isolate your chat. Channel activity. No, that's it. Hum with no volume. Yeah, but what level of hum? Everything's relative. He's just saying noticeable hum. How much filtering have you got? Have you got a choke? What ripple are you measuring on the B+? I need data. I can't make decisions without knowing things. Is this one of your builds, or is this a restoration project or repair job? Please try to answer all my questions. Screwed up trying to dual boot Linux one time. It deleted my entire hard drive. So the way I treat my computers these days, I treat them as disposable. So all my data is sort of kept on a archive drive, all the important shit. My downloads folder just gets periodically flushed. Anything of importance is backed up in to at least 2 locations. And if my computer goes down, I just get another one, grab a fucking 6-pack of beer and sit there and start the reinstallation process of all the software I like. And just set up to expect the computer to fail, because when you're in repair, you're constantly looking at shit that's broken. So you come up with methods to deal with stuff breaking. And in the computer world, that is just replacing shit. So sorry if I'm sounding a little bit negative today. It's just, like I say, been a very hectic week. So I'll try and be a bit more positive sounding. Anyway, yeah, Hamilton watch. Yeah, so this is one I got pretty decent deal on. It's, you know, it's used. You can see it's a bit scratched up around the rim there. But Michelle's really taken a liking to this one, so she started stealing it to go to work. I really wanted the titanium one, but the cheapest price I could find for that was like $1,300, and that's a bit much. But yeah, I just wanted like one Swiss-made watch without the Omega price tag, and Hamilton's sort of is a good workhorse and nice quality. But yeah, I like it. I reckon it's cool. The leather strap's a bit thick, a little bit heavy duty for my girly. I've actually got pretty thin wrists, little girly wrists. So it's a bit chunky for that. I kind of should have probably got the 38mm model. That's a 42, but you can see my wrists are actually kind of... I've got this bone that juts out too. Probably hard to make out there, but I've got like this this real lumpy bone that pokes out. You can probably see there. Looks worse in 3D, but you know, you can see it there. See, it almost looks like I've got a fucking broken wrist because you've got this massive lump that pops out. So that makes some watches pretty uncomfortable, but I thought this one would be bad, but because it's got the larger face, it kind of sits pretty well, which was surprising. Yeah, the strap's a little bit chunky and thick, so I might get a I don't know, might leave that one as is, and then maybe Shell can have that one, and I'll get a 38mm titanium one day. Wearing my Hamilton khaki Frogman. Nice. Had it almost 15 years. Yeah, they're bloody bulletproof, aren't they? Nitrogen triiodide. More unstable than fulminated mercury. I wonder if I'm going to get demonetized for this. Of course you did, good. Exactly. Cheers, Brad, from Cold of Girdwood. Arkansas? Is that what AK is? Love showing your skills. Thanks, mate. Hanging out with my bandmates, eating some Guinness moose stew. Moose stew, nice. What's moose like to eat? Is it kind of gamey? Is it like I guess it's like probably similar to like camel? I don't know. What's moose like? Is it something you got to cook slowly? Always save your home folder in a separate partition or hard drive. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the other thing I do. As soon as I get a new PC, I get an extra drive. All the documents and everything, all the data is held on that drive, and then the operating system and the programs are on another drive. It's got two advantages. You're not accessing that hard drive all the time to process data at the same time as trying to, you know, run an operating system and programs, apps off that same hard drive. So that speeds things up quite a bit. These days, everything's solid state drive, so everything's super quick anyway. But back in the day of mechanical drives, your seek head would be going crazy where you're trying to process data on it on the same drive that you're running the operating system and the programs on. I still call them programs, probably because I'm fucking old. I don't call them apps. Applications. I don't know. To me, apps was phone apps, but then like computer programs, I call them programs. I don't know. I'm old school. Not to ruin your Friday. JCM Marshall TSL 122 board available. Yeah, it's not going to ruin my Friday, mate. That's going to make my Friday. And anyway, it's Saturday here. Yeah, I got them in stock, ready to ship, bro. So, what was it? A TSL 122. Yeah, so that's this board here. Plenty in stock, tested, ready to ship. I shipped 3 of them yesterday. Yeah, just jump on the website, man, and just look up FYM 2000. Make sure you get the 3-channel one if you go on the TSL, and yeah, that's compatible with it. I've got a connector map that I either email or a hard copy in the package, unless you're in the US, because I can't ship to the USA, so that's your fault, not mine. Should have fought harder. Oop, beep beep. I think you should probably stop talking about explosives, champions. Yes, to build, have not measured ripple or work to get data follow-up questions going forward. Many thanks. So have you got a choke on there, Anthony? Because with a single-ended amplifier, you've got by default no common mode rejection because you've got no... just checking my audio. Because you've got no common mode rejection of the push-pull nature of the output stage. So any ripple will get amplified by the output stage. So you should be aiming at like a couple of 100 millivolts, maybe max, in terms of ripple. So to achieve that, the best way to do it is with a choke and some significant filtering after the choke. Just going to pretend like my frogman isn't titanium so I don't make you jealous. Oh, have you got a titanium one? That's awesome. I'm not jealous. I'm happy for you. But yeah, I was looking at this one here. Hang on. While we're on a tangent. I do like the dial on this one. Is it that one? Sorry, the internet's really slow when I'm streaming. So yeah, this one here. I really like the look of the red numbers on the dial too. But that's the titanium. It looks matte finish, but that's actually brushed, and it's got like a suede buckle. Being a 38mm, it's only a 20mm lug, so I could use all my leather straps I've got for the Seikos as well. So you can mix and match all the straps. But I think that's a classic look. It's really nice, and I think the 38 looks a bit more proportional on my girly little wrist. But that dial there, I think, just looks gorgeous with those red or those sort of orange numbers on there as well. Yeah, I don't know. Looks great. Love it. Love the large Arabic numbers too. It's a very cool look. Very fieldy. Not the Korn bass player. Is that his name? Or guitarist? What tube tester do you guys recommend? I would recommend a Maxi Matcher. You can get preamp version as well. They're just a good go no go tester without having to go down, get in the weeds. And if you get an old tube tester, you kind of need to fix it first. And if you don't know how, it could be giving false readings all the time. A Hamilton with a Swiss movement seems odd, but a lot of watches use generic Swiss or Japanese movements these days. Hamilton are made in Switzerland though. They moved to Switzerland some point in the, I think, 60s, 70s. They were an American company. Well, I think they're still American owned, but they build them in Switzerland now. As far as I know, I could be wrong there, but I did research them and thought that's what it was. We'll talk about tubes and capacitors going boom instead, yeah. But the choke will drop some voltage, no? Well, yeah, some, like a volt or so. But that's not an issue. You're talking single-ended stuff, low voltage anyway. Low power anyway, sorry. Dad and his best friends were all combustion scientists. It was beautiful, the things you could learn after getting a few martinis in them. Opinion poll. Got a Vox AC 30cc2 with Wharfdale speakers. Is it worth sticking the Alnico blues in it? Probably not, because if you do like to push that thing hard, you can actually blow the Alnicos. I'd probably go with greenbacks, but I'm a greenback fan. Maybe creambacks would go really good in that. No choke, I could put one in, thanks for the yep. So if you've got, in the single-ended amplifiers I've seen, if you've got, the biggest weakness in them is if you've got valve rectification, because then you're limited the amount of capacitance you can have for your B+ node. In my opinion, your best option is probably go for solid state rectification. Did I clip then? Sorry, just waiting. I've got 30 seconds lag or more. Nope, I didn't clip. All good. The meter in OBS is really off. You're a very disturbed person. PCB is manufactured by Marshall with the 2000s formula and modern fender caps. I'm not sure where you're going there, but yeah. Maximator is a good tester because it will test at 325 or 400 volts. It will weed out bad valves. Kind of want to get one of those Amplifier ones now, though. Has more options for oddball vintage stuff. Yeah, if you're into that. There's also another German one called Row Tester or something. Alright, so it looks like it's settled down. Stopped running, well, stopped increasing. Might just leave them there. It peaked at 21.8 millivolts and now it's back down to 21. So maybe we're not running away on that one. It could just be a bit of fluctuation. I really need to make an adapter for Novel valves for the tester. Oop. Spoke too soon, maybe? Could just be power fluctuations. 22.3 we're up to. And the other one's still at 19.5. Yeah, so I'm not confident that that valve's stable for it to jump around that much while the other one's sitting rock solid. Is that going to melt my probe? No. I live about 2 miles from the original Hamilton watch factory. My groundwork there in the 40s and 50s. Wow. Watch tangents are the best. Yeah. Alright, let's put a pair of known good 6v6s in there. And give her a chooch. Just going to organise myself a bit first, champions. That's the 3-channel boards. Got the next batch of boards coming in. Well, you know, and components. That's what that $2,000 Mouser order was. And boards are on order. 10 of each, 30 in total for the 50 watt, 100 watt DSL and the 100 watt TSL. Hamilton are sourcing custom movements from ETA. Who's ETA? Still good, and lots of watches through history have followed that model. Nothing wrong with it. Okay. Now it's an apartment building. Yeah, that's the way things work, eh? Right, let's just clean up some tabs. And close that. Son, how you going, mate? Terrified because my most recent project involves me designing a power supply for a memory man and controller and a PCB, which I've never done in my life. Memory man. What's a memory man again? And it's a novel. Oh, that's the yeah, electro-harmonics thing. I wouldn't stress. I mean, your biggest thing with anything that's got, is that Bucket Brigade chips? I can't remember if that's analog or not. I think it's analog, isn't it? Just local decoupling to all the chips and all the op amps. And yeah, just decouple near each chip. Just use linear rectifiers, you'll be fine, mate. Don't worry about it. Microcontroller. Just, yeah, keep the digital lines. Hang on, microcontroller. What are you using a microcontroller in a delay pedal for? Not saying not to, I'm just curious what you're doing. Using a 5Y3, so 33 microfarad at the output transformer sounds great, but we'll continue to develop the power supply design. Thanks heaps. That's alright, mate. Yeah, it's going to be tricky with a valve rectifier for a single ender. That's why a choke's probably a good idea, but you put the choke before the B+, and then you'll get significant sag unless you've got a real chunky choke, which is another option. Chunky choke. That's a 2-channel. That's a 2-channel. Put you away. Thinking the other day I should make a I wonder if that'd fit. Valve tester fit in the trolley? Nah, too big. I was thinking about mounting the valve tester in the trolley and putting it on runners so I can just slide it out and it's not taking up a permanent area of the bench in that case. But it's too tall. I could drill some extra holes, move the shelf down, I guess. What do we got? 100 and well, better. Yeah, that's way too tall. Unless I modify the trolley. But that'd be pretty cool. Just be able to pull it out on runners every time I need it. Although single ended amps don't sag so much. They will, but when you're cathode biased, you're kind of drawing the maximum current when you're quiescent. So you don't get the same compression and sag that you get from a fixed bias amp. So if you design it around the when we say sag, you can think of it in two ways. Just literally the voltage drop across the choke or the voltage drop across the rectifier. But when people talk about sag, they're usually talking about the dynamic sag that happens where you play. So when there's more current demanded of the amp, the voltage drops more because you've got a resistance between the, well, you've got a high impedance power supply basically. Not high, but relatively high. So that means your voltages drop as you've got more demand when you play louder, right? So you probably play like a deluxe reverb or something, you crank it right up, or maybe AC30s, and you feel a bit of that compression that happens at very high output when you dig in, and particularly some bassy notes. I don't find it particularly pleasant. I like a bitey Take No Prisoners sort of Marshall type tone, which has got pretty much zero sag and a lot of filtering. Like punch you in the face, rip your teeth out of your face, that kind of thing. But yeah, some people love the bloom and sag that you supposedly get. A lot of the supposed... So sag often gets confused with just blocking distortion as well. Like a stock 5E3, when you push it real hard, you get quite a bit of blocking there. And sort of for a sec it sounds like compression a bit until it recovers. The bias excursion sort of kills your signal there for a bit. With actual sag, there's a lot of other effects in the amp that often seem to get confused with sag. So maybe sag's not something you're after. No offense to the older people here. Put series diodes between the AC, but yeah. So what Gooden's talking about there. Put series diodes between the AC B+ and 5Y3 plate. So we refer to them as backup diodes. That means the rectifier is dropping half the voltage that it was previously because it's sharing them with the diodes. But if you do that, Gooden, be wary of the voltages at play. If you have you know, 700 volt center tap, you've got to take into account the peak inverse voltage is going to be like double that. So you need some pretty high rated diodes, and for them I use these ones here. You get all the tips here at Brad's Guitar Garage, mate. So if you're going to use backup diodes, don't just use 1N4007s or UF4007s unless your voltages are below, say, 300 volts. Because your peak inverse voltage is the important part, and you want margin there as well for mains fluctuation. So if you're at like 400 volts, that's fine. If you've got like a 6V6 or you know, EL84 amp, but if you've got a big twin or something, you want to be using something like this. So 1500 volt, 1 amp, and that's the part number GP10W. And all the various suffixes afterwards. But yeah, it just looks the same. They look like 1N4007s. They're not bigger or anything, but they can handle a bigger peak inverse with a bit of margin. So in general use, it's not going to be an issue. But if your rectifier ever shorts, your rectifier valve ever shorts for whatever reason, then those diodes will have the full peak inverse voltage across them. So you want to have something that can handle it. But yeah, if you're just doing a full wave rectifier with a grounded center tap and you just got one diode on either side, of UF4007 and 1M4007 is not going to cop it. So you need to either use 2 in series or go with a higher rated diode. Can't you kind of fake sag in a solid state single-ended amps with larger dropping resistance? Yeah, solid state single-ended amps with a larger dropping resistor between B plus. No, feel like I heard that somewhere, assuming your voltages allow that. So that sag's just the internal resistance of the rectifier. So you'll often see on like Vox AC30s or whatever, they'll have 1 or 2 resistors in series with the solid state rectification. Oh, you mean solid state rectified single-ended amp. But it's not necessarily single-ended either. So like AC30s, like I say, will have 2 like 100 ohm resistors, something like that, or maybe 50 ohm resistors in series with their rectifiers to simulate that effect without a rectifier valve. Pop quiz: looking at buying a Japanese amp, is it hard to swap the transformer to 240 volt from 110? Okay, so a few issues with that question. I don't know what the fuck amp you're talking about, so you might have to replace the transformer. And Japan's not 110, it's 100 volt. If there's no suitable windings on the primary, you're shit out of luck. You got to replace the transformer. Lyle explains cathode bias is both sagging all the time and never sagging. Well, yeah, I mean, if it's always sagged, it doesn't increase more. Well, so it doesn't increase the amount of current when you play harder. It actually slightly biases it cooler. It sort of balances it out. Sometimes when you're playing through a fixed bias amp, so I've got a power meter on the wall, which I often quote, oh, we're drawing this many watts, that many watts. It's just like one of those home appliance monitor things. And I just keep an eye on what's happening with an amp. It's good for quick diagnosis. Say you fire up an amp and you take it out of standby and there's no change to the current or wattage from the wall. You know that you've got a blown HT fuse likely. You can see if things are running away or drifting over time. And when you're playing a cathode biased amp, the power doesn't really change when you crank it right up between 0 and like maximum volume. It might go up by like a watt or two maybe. But when you're playing in a fixed bias amp, it might be quiescent at like 45, 50 watts. Like bigger amps, maybe 70, 80 watts. A big Marshall might be quiescent at about 120 watts from the wall. And then when you play, it goes to like 360 or something. It's fucking massive change. But with a cathode biased amp, it doesn't really. Question: looking at swapping out the pots on my Rock of 50 heads, super low friction, and would rather have more feedback. More feedback. Best pots for the job. Feedback? What do you mean feedback? Super low friction. Is that what you want, or is that what they currently are? More info required, I think. Alright, I'm off to work. Take it easy, TK. 22 amps and 7 guitars to fix by yesterday. Yeah, fucking tell me about it. That's why I shouldn't be live streaming. Rolling jazz. I'll have a look at the schematic for that model. There's many variations over the years too, so make sure you got the right one, but you crack it open and just see how many windings there are on the primary there, and if there's any positions on the board for jumpers or different wiring to suit different voltages. I think from memory they are universal transformers, so you might be lucky there and just have to rewire the primary, but get a pro to do it. It's not something you want to fuck with if you're not experienced. I do have a power meter, but I do have a current limiter, and it's cool to see the light get brighter as you play harder on a fixed bias amp. Yeah. Tactile feedback. Okay. So you want more or less torque? You want more friction. Okay. So it's currently, it's like they've been cleaned out and there's no grease left in there. Just go with alpha. Not sure where you get a full set to suit them. Yeah, maybe Tater. Probably Tater Electronics. Just check your bushing and shaft length. The load and power supply in a hot biased or class A cathode biased amp doesn't vary much at all. It drags the same weight ball and chain regardless of its volume it's being played at. Yeah, it does vary slightly, Gooden. But yeah, like I'm talking by a couple of percent, not massively. For a current limiter, how do I determine what bulb wattage is needed? I think from memory, like 300 watts is like a sweet spot, or 250, something like that. If you go too low wattage, it's going to take the majority of the it's going to drop down to a useless voltage, and you won't have any action at all. Anyway, how's this valve doing? 22.4. Yeah, it's not running away, but it is varying a bit. Oh, 30. No, gave it a tap, went up to 30. Alright, I don't trust those valves. Tube amp doctor. So, let's just leave it there. Meter going crazy. I'm going to chalk it up to that valve. So let's pop a new one in there. A new fuse. These amps are a bit of a pain in the ass to monitor because they're built like a lunchbox. 6v6. $300 bulb. You want it to be over to... Yeah. I've never used a light bulb limiter in my life. Because I do a lot of... why is there JJs in there? Do I swap them out with something else? Ah, rattle. Okay, so that's a microphonic pair. They can go away. What was I saying? I don't fucking know. Oh yeah, I just use the power meter and just monitor it with a Variac, because I do a lot of solid state stuff, and with switch mode supplies you can't use a light bulb limiter because it just won't start up. Shawing, shawing, shawing. A lot of people have been comparing me to Milehouse Studios recently. I think he's a lot more performative. He's a lot more savvy with the social media, whereas I'm just a dude that's the same when I'm on and off cam. There's a few other channels too which seem to be taken off pretty quick. There's a guy called Slightly Technical. He seems to be on Facebook and Insta mainly. And he's everything he says is correct. And he knows what he's talking about, but he's just super performative, and it just feels a bit put on. You know what I mean? With me, I'm just sort of, I'm the same as I talk to people when I'm not on camera, but they'll be like, so what we have here is this and that and this, and well, you could do this, and it's like, dude, you don't talk like that to normal people. But you know, I guess that's what you got to do to crack the old algorithm, eh? But I think I'd puke in my mouth a bit if I tried that shit. It's just not my personality. No harm against them. I mean, it's working for them and it is entertaining material, but I just can't do that shit. Had the shop use 150 watt bulb and the current limiter, but we mostly worked on solid state hi-fi gear where the current draw is generally less than for tube gear, but fast current limiting is essential. Yeah. Bang. You're probing around the transistor output transistor leads, and you slip and big spark, and then there goes your output devices. Whoops. I bet you've been there, Gooden. Everyone's done it once. Right, it's 315 milliamp fast blow. Fast blow? Slow blow. Fast blow, really? Oh yeah, it's HT fuse, duh. $630, $500, T5A. What are you doing there? You're the wrong rating. T630. Why is the slow blow ones at the back? Have I swapped them over accidentally? I hate it when they don't put the ratings on there. The speed ratings, I mean. You got to Google the friggin' part number. $315. Hello. Hello. Empty box. Fantastic. Oh, hang on. I've got a box where all my fuses live now. I've forgotten. Fast 500. Slow 630. Trying to read it through a bag. Fast 500. Why have we got two boxes of fast 500s? Two bags, I mean. That's the fender fuses, fast 1.6. Don't know what I'm just going to have to sort it out later. I haven't got time for this shit. $160. Oh yeah, you got the old Wes Components selling fast blow fuses as slow blow. Thanks for that, you fuckwits. By the way, think something's wrong with the amp? No, it's just you're selling the wrong fuses. No current on that one at all. So you got to look at the actual fuse body. Thanks for that. Two amp. Nope. Don't tell me I haven't got any fuses. 630 milliamp. God damn it. I need to sort this shit out. This is painful. Why have I got so many 500 milliamps? I just keep buying them. And 2 amps. 315. One fuse. What? Fuck. Nope, that's time delay. Ah. I'm gonna have to order more fuses. Fuck's sake. This is bullshit. It's always something to fuck me over, champions. Can't get any jobs out the door. There's always something to trip me up. Some part that I don't have, or some fucking thing I've got to order. Fuck it, you're getting a slow blow fuse for now until I get a chance to order them. I'm monitoring everything anyway, so who cares? Alright, you're going to stay in there, yep. Alright, it's go time. Variac. Let's find where the hell I'm going to measure my... it's got bias test points, but what are you measuring? I've got a 1 ohm resistance between them. I love the PVs where the bias test points just are the bias voltage. It tells you nothing. Yes, I've got minus 56 volts. Thanks for that. It doesn't tell me anything, but yay. Alright, let's get an IEC lead. I need to fuck this fan off because everything's crowded at the moment. Why are you still on? I unplugged you. Set everything at 12 o'clock. Test the bias voltage. No, I can't access anything because it's all hidden away. This is a really awkward amp to work on because you look at the construction. Down in the dark nether regions down there, covered by a massive loom of wiring, is the output stages, so I can't get down there to see or do anything. Screen resistors look okay visually. Yeah, pretty ridiculously constructed amps, these things. The circuits are great, but just the execution is insane. Alright, so we seem to be drawing about what I'd expect. So what bias are we measuring? We've got 2 test points. Is that just the aggregate between the 2 pairs of valves? Seen nothing so far. About 150 volts. Nope, getting some activity now. Oh, Jesus. Something's wrong still. Alright. So we've got probably a failure in the EL84s in that case. Because she only started doing weird shit once the HT started to get up there. Let's just try try it with nothing in the EL84s. Only sounded like a short once it started to conduct the output valves. That is losing my voice. Alright, so we've only got conduction on one side. I'm going to have to get a schematic and figure out what's even being measured here. So we should have signal now, I think, on their 6v6 side anyway. It's got a pot which mixes between them. Oh man, it's the dumbest construction of an amp, honestly. Got signal. Let's turn the volume down a bit, eh? And the reverb. Oh, where's reverb? Reverb! Hello! It's on the back. Oh, there it is. Back panel reverb. Sorry, champions, wrong channel. Alright, so we've got signal. So ironically, it's the EL84s that have failed. And the 6v6s I don't trust still, but there is some distortion coming and going there though. I think everything needs a good clean. Man, certainly weird construction on these things. Alright, so it's got, sorry, I'll just turn that down. It's got Egnator branded ECC83s, 12AX7s. Oop. So the valve covers barely fit over the valve. So you can't remove the cover without removing the valve along with it. So that crackling was just us pulling a valve out. Alright, so there's no real way to get into this thing without fully disassembling it. So I'm just going to have to throw a bit of a dart at this one price-wise. Factor in a new set of output valves. Looks like the preamp ones are fine. And I don't know, just take a guess on any servicing, because we've got to fully disassemble the thing to get into it. But let's just go with all new outputs. Ow, my freaking ears! Hey, Scotty. Ow, my freaking ears! By the way, I've been photographing hard to find schematics for oddball amplifiers, both guitar and PA amp, and sending them to Hoffman amps. I've been posting them on his site. Oh, cool. Started using 400 hertz. 1K is way too annoying. Yeah, can get that way. What time is it? 8:45. I think, champions, might be time to chuck a Lyle and have a quick break. So if you want to go poop or make a coffee, I'm going to clear this amp off the bench and be back in 10 minutes, alright? I'll make a cup of tea, I reckon. So, back in a minute. Champions, we're back. Oh no, 6 has got a problem with my Be Right Back screen. Nah, no one's sitting here waiting, it's alright. Everyone's off making a cuppa or something. I like Lyle's countdown one. I've got to figure out how to do that, but he uses eCam, so it might be a feature in that, but I'm sure there's some plug-in for OBS, but I haven't got time for that shit, mate. But g'day, 6. How you going, legend? Good to see you. Right, I've got to get my shit organised. I'm so scattered today, man. Woke up at 3 AM, couldn't get back to sleep. I was going to start streaming at like 5 or 6, and I thought, nah, that's weird. Alright. Need a bit of airflow in this bitch. Need some airflow up in this bitch. Stupid touchpad pile of crap. Yes. Sorry, you just reminded me. I'm very busy this morning. I've forgot about things. So Steve here took it upon himself to send me a little gift. Because he makes things. He got us in a little bag and everything. A little bloody wallet with my name on it, champions. Look at that. Laser etched. Got a nice button on there. Press stud, whatever you want to call it. Hand stitched. I've got my business cards in there. It's got a little position there for your cards. You can throw a couple of notes in there. Everyone pays with card these days anyway, don't they? I was wondering if I could fit, it's a bit small to fit watches in, but yeah, it's a little chucha. It's a super high class, oh yeah, and I forgot about that. He's got a little valve on the other side there. All laser etched. Thank you, mate. That's awesome. I love handmade stuff, especially leather stuff. But you should check out his page. Can I find it? Yeah, I should be able to. Give me a minute. So, desk share. McLeod Creative Studio. Shop, handcrafted goods. Handcrafted leather bags. Have a go at them. How cool is that? Should get a little multimeter pouch. Look like the old AVO. The Avometer. But get one made from a Fluke instead. It does belts. Bloody little pen holders. Yeah, I was just thinking maybe like a watch pouch would be fantastic. Passport. Got knife sheaths. Awesome little operation. Yeah, you've got dog collars or bondage, whatever you're into. And wallets. Wallets look awesome. What is that? A stubby cooler? Leather stubby cooler. Does that work? I love handmade stuff, man. It's awesome. Thank you very much for that, and I'll be putting it to good use. I think I was telling him my my wallet was made, I think I bought it in 2017 or something, 2018. Oh, it's almost 10 years old. And I'll just take my ID out of it first. And it was like a 19-year-old kid made it. And I've been trying to find him since. But it looks like he's just given up and he's gone and got a real job. But yeah, Blue Mountains Leather Co. And it's like all the stitching's still rock solid. It's like the day I bought it, pretty much. Real leather goods last literally fucking forever, man. Like that. That's the worst wear after 10 years right there. And yeah, I'm a sucker for really nicely handmade stuff to last forever. Fight the obsolescence champions. Yeah, awesome stuff. I love handmade stuff. I love leather stuff. I mean, we're gonna eat the cows anyway. We may as well use their skin, eh? Here's my Opal card. That's our transport card for public transport here. I know you guys in the States don't know what public transport is, but yeah, thank you very much for that, mate. That's an awesome little gift. I'll cherish it. So what are we doing next? We want to do a high watt. Don't get excited. It's just a T40. Crackling. Reports of crackling. Let's establish that first. Make sure it's not his pedals or something. Main speaker, 16 ohm, half power. Nah, I'll go full power. Variac? Nah. Hasn't blown fuses or anything. Power. Just made my day, mate. You made my day, mate. You made my week. It was awesome. Thank you. I have a handmade leather drumstick bag that I bought in 1980 and still going strong. Yeah, proper leather goods pretty much just never fucking die. You'll have them forever. And then you see all the pleather, or the supposedly real leather, and then you realise it's not. Like just this guitar strap, for example. Proper leather end on it. It's a Fender one I've had since high school. So I would have bought that in like 1997 or 1998. And it looks like new. Literally like new. It's never been washed. It's suede. It's just fucking, yeah. Just fucking, yeah. Proper leather. And then you see the cheap pleather ones and they're fucked within, 3 months. Draw a 90 watt from the wall, which seems a bit high. Alright, it's working. No crackle so far. Pretty low gain for what it is. Thought these were like screamers. Let's crank her up. Have I got a mic on there? Yep. Mic position not optimal. I must have kicked it. Let's hang on, must have unplugged my Motu without realising. One moment, nothing's that simple. Where's your port? Show me your port. I want to dock. Alright. I hate fake leather. Yeah, I don't like fake leather either. Which gets you demonetized first. Discussions of bombage or bondage. Dunno. Just came home from lunch al fresco. Do you just mean outside? Can they make good leather from roos? Yeah, bloody oath. What about leather from salties? Yeah, well, they make leather from both. You can get literally crocodile watch bands. And, yeah, roo leather's really nice and soft and supple. Sometimes on straps, they'll use, like, roo leather on the inside and layer it up, and then cowhide on the outside, which is tougher. The artisan straps have been getting, they use calf leather on the inside because it's like moisture resistant and very nice and soft. Alright, just going to mute my mic and unmute the Motu 1 sec. Don't mind the burst of oscillation there. That was my cable. It needs a new connector. I've replaced one the other day, but then I grabbed the wrong lead, and that one needs replacing too. But overall, no crackles. Not sure what is causing that, according to the customer. Just feed it some signal, and just give the effects loop jacks a bit of a tweak. Yeah, artisan straps are great, man. Yeah, a bit of a weird amp, this one. Very, very, very bright. And the pot tapers seem a bit off. Like the gain controls do everything between 0 and 3, and then there's literally no difference above that. So it's not brilliant. Let me just get my little pokey. Looks like the stream went down there for a second. Not sure why. Sorry, I'll just turn the oscillator off. Could you break down when and why you use different resistor types in various parts of an amp circuit, i.e. carbon comp film versus metal? Yeah. So your most critical thing is your power rating. So some resistors like metal film lend themselves to higher dissipation than carbon film. So you'll just get metal films up to like 3 watt. And you know, they're 1 watt ones, they're like a third of the size of a carbon film, 1 watt. So that's convenience. There's also safety resistors tend to be more readily available in metal film, so we tend to use metal film for power supply purposes. Carbon film you can use, they're cheaper for signal stuff. There's also some argument that they're slightly non-linear under massive voltage swing, which adds a certain something to the sound. Jury's out on that a bit. I haven't done an A/B test, but generally I'll use the carbon film for the low power and the signal stuff, and then I'll use metal film for the power supply stuff. And metal film have lower self noise, so you'll use them like in a high gain amp up the front end if you got like grid stoppers or whatever. Anything in series with the signal is going to add noise to it, so I tend to go for metal film in that case. And then carbon film wherever there's big swings like plate loads tends to add a little something. And then like wire wounds for the high power, like 5 watt and above, you're only going to be finding wire wound or thick film resistors in that application. But generally for through hole stuff you're using, for chassis mounted stuff you're using chassis mounted wire wound. So a lot of it's just to do with the market availability of the certain specifications that you're after, and the tonality comes after that. Whoop! Light show. Bad valve. Yep. Alright, so they look like the stock ones. No branding? Or is that JJ's? No, they're PS Vane, our favourite brand. Utter trash. Right, so new EL84's in a service for that one. Sounds like everything in the front end's performing okay. We've got internal arcing due to a piss vane. Fucking piss vanes. Alright, I'm not going to dig much deeper into that one. I'll just put the cover back on and send a quote for that. Where did I put the cover? Ah, right there. No worries, mate. Just check out, if you haven't already, I'm not sure which field you sort of focused on, but there's some good stuff in Merlin Blenkauer's book about different resistor compositions. There's also incredible resource of Douglas Self, small signal design, and he goes into great detail about the different properties of the different compositions. There's also less so, but still goes into it. Art of Electronics do touch on it as well, but they tend to be general electronics, less audio specific. Heard NSU by Cream on the radio today. What's that stand for? Jack Bruce apparently has a thing for such shorthand. I don't know. Together canned heat. I love canned heat. One of my old mates from high school actually played. Why does OBS keep crashing? Did you guys drop the stream there at all? I've got the same old deluxe Hot Rod Deluxe. I've got to keep track of whose is whose because I've got like 4 of these things here at the moment. Pretty easy though, just copy and paste the quotes. Yeah, it dropped. I've got no idea why. It's not dropping frames, it just says OBS has fucking, I don't know, lost connection or some shit. Weird. Got no control over that, Legends, unfortunately. What was I doing? I should probably just square away those other job notes before I get onto a new one, before I forget. Otherwise I'm going to have to watch my stream back just to remember what was wrong with everything. 2 EL84s, 2 6v6s, general service. I think that Rode unit's battery is dying because that showed full charge when I started the stream. Yeah, now it's dead. That had full charge. Normally when they got full charge they last like 6 hours or something, so I think that one's fucked. Yay! So it wasn't me losing my mind. Yeah, it's battery light's flashing at me. I think that means the battery's fucked. Always something. Well, it's better than the old, I really like the old Audio Technica wireless headset I had because it sounded fucking fantastic, but changing the, I think my level's off now. Changing the, why is the level, I've set the level on those units to be the same so many times, so many times. Try -18, see how that is. Yeah, the Audio Technica sounded great, but putting a new set of AA batteries in there every friggin' day was a bit annoying. Rivera, 59 baseman. Whose amp is this? No job sheet. Probably just booked it straight into the system. I'll just grab a job sheet. Let me put the air conditioning on just to get the humidity down because it's friggin', it's not that hot, it's just really steamy in here. What are we at? 62% humidity? Right, Hot Rod Deluxe. Do you prefer working on combos or heads? Could you generalize the time it takes for a combo versus a head? No. How long does Testing, testing. Hey, yeah. Just let it stabilize. I just restarted OBS, see if that helps. I've watched this channel for a long time and just now noticed there's a fuck off sign in the back. Yeah, man. It's only when it... Okay, why isn't Sony Boy focusing now? Fuck me. What? How come the stream was going good and now everything's turned to shit? Focus? 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 Hello? Autofocus? What? Just... Fucking Sony just doesn't autofocus anymore. Really? Fucking hell. Go back to Panny Boy. Fuck you, Sony. You're on thin ice. Would you be willing to do a video about amp biasing? Are we back? Yep, leaking caps. Same old, same old. I wonder if we've got massive ripple on this one, or if it's just leaking without having electronically failed yet. Now Sony's not focusing again. I think whenever OBS drops out, for some reason it makes the Sony not focus because it loses its streaming output. Interesting. Have we got hum? No. See if we've got ghosting. It is a screen node, so it might not manifest itself as a massive amount of hum. Reverb down. All the knobs are in weird positions. Someone's played knifey spoony before. Yeah, it's an Ing-based Strat. Let's not talk about him again. Just have a quick listen. It's going to blow out the mic. Sorry about that. Turn your headphones down if you got them. Microphonic 6L6s this time. Oh. Microphonic 12AX7. Something funny happening. Can you guys hear that low frequency rumble? I think it's just the output valves. There's some weird shit going on, Legends. It doesn't, I think it's picking up my mic as well, the RF. Hear that rumble? Woo! Woo! Yeah, so that's feeding back to the output valves. Or maybe the preamp. We've got some preamp valve feedback. If I remove that foam, it's probably going to run away. And we've also got a rumble coming from the output valves being microphonic. If I grab them, ow, burn my finger. There she goes. That's with nothing plugged in. Sounds like a cowboy movie. If we go into drive mode, shit's gonna hit the fan. Yeah. Right, so 2 6L6s. Reverb works, that's good. 2 6L6s. 1 12H7. Usual works. Reverb okay. Speaker okay. And that'll do it. Alright, just pop the stuff back on. Put the rear cover back on. I'll just get my template quote for these, for the Blues and Hot Rod series. I've got like a template and I just vary that. It's got all the base level stuff, the low voltage supply. I've got videos dedicated to this amp. Go and watch them if you want more detail. I'm not going to go over it every time. But yeah, I've got the template quote, and then I just vary it according to the individual requirements of each amp. Just saves a bit of time because I know I'm going to have to do the same stuff on every amp, regardless of the generation. I think the latest generation Blues Junior is the only one that varies, but every 1, 2, 3, 4 is the same, and then version 4. They had, like, version A was different a bit, similar circuit, but so revision A, version 1, and then version 2, 3, 4 were the same, and then they changed it but didn't change the revision, so it was still number 4, but it was cathode biased and completely different circuit board and everything. So I don't know what goes through their head at the Fender factory. Nothing they do makes sense. It's like trying to make sense of the guy that's screaming at you on the subway. It's better to just look away. Alright, so we've been through 3. What else have we got? Oh yeah, we've got the basement up the front, which I'll just go and get. And we've got the Rivera M60, which is ancient and probably needs a shit ton of work. I'm going to have to order more 6L6s too. I don't think I've got enough to get everything in the queue done. Basement. I don't want to open the Rivera yet. It's too heavy. Too heavy and awkward. Basement's relatively light for what it is. Ooh, she looks pretty. Schmicko. So yeah, he's just brought this in for preventative maintenance, if you can believe it or not. Job sheets. Blew a fuse 10 years ago. I don't think we've got to worry about that now. I probably blew a fuse 10 years ago too. It's gone to top chat because I restarted it. I fucking hate it how it defaults to top chat. It's so annoying, man. I think I'll just, it's not very good for video, but I think I'll just put this one up here and take the back cover off and just inspect it and have a quick play. And then I might have to leave you as champions. I'll have to leave a bit early because I've got to organise the workshop for Luke and Dad to come in. It's actually more workload when you've got people helping you because you've got to line them up and organise them and all of that. You've still got to try and get work done yourself and manage to shop and deal with customers and answer emails and yeah, order things. You've got to be careful with these because they've got a ground wire hanging on. You can't see there because of the camera angle, but if you just yank the back cover off, you'll pull a ground wire off. It just it's kind of unnecessary because it makes contact with the chassis anyway. It's kind of stupid. And then they've got a layer of I still don't know, I guess it's for heat shielding, but they've got another layer of foil down there which is just not connected to anything, so I guess that's just to heat shield it against the valves to some degree, but they sort of haven't really done a good job of that either. Andy, how you going, mate? Alright, so we've got some tongue sole short bottle 6L6s in there. They're probably fine, but we'll suss that out. IC caps, they're not splooging out yet, but he's brought it in for preemptive cap replacement as well as the usual upgrades to this model. So screen grid resistors, I'll go up to 1K 3 watt, or, yeah, 3 watt, and you can probably get away with 2 watt there, but we'll go 3 watt. And we'll upgrade the heater balance resistors to 100 ohm fusible and lift them off the board. We'll upgrade the plate loads because those resistors, whatever Fender uses, tend to go open circuit or noisy. And yeah, replace all the axial caps. May as well replace the bias ones while we're there. We do have to pull the board to do this properly. I'm not a J-hook kind of guy, so I'm actually going to pull the board, flip it forwards. You just got to remove the pots off the front and the jacks and just swing the whole lot outwards. Might have, yeah, got to remove the pilot light for that too, which is a bit annoying. Probably easier to just remove the standby switch so it comes along with it as well. But it's not the end of the world. What's a couple of nuts and bolts between mates? I would have to remove the knobs and double check that they're tight anyway, because everyone at Fender Factory seems to have a very limp wrist. Oh, we'll install some backup diodes on the rectifier there as well, and maybe some flybacks because I don't trust the RCA connectors, although they're pretty tight. But yeah, doesn't hurt to put some flyback diodes on the output valves. Doesn't affect the tone significantly. People say, oh, there's capacitance in the junction, but that's pretty minimal, champions. Yeah, it's a reissue, Wes. Yeah, she ain't original. Look what I just found. Snippings from the factory. Offcuts. It's been floating around in the chassis since it was manufactured. The old Olympus doesn't like focusing in that close. So we got a date on this one? No. Could be on the other side of the chassis. But yeah, she's looks alright. These are actually pretty good amps. Once you do one or two things to them, they're pretty reliable. But I'll just write down these notes, the usual stuff. Template quote. Let's give it a quick listen. Again, I'm not going to mic it up for this, so I should just mute myself because it sounds fucking terrible when it's clipping, but yeah. Man, it's a miserable day out there today. Up to 80 watts. Ooh, bit of noise. We got a fatigue jack contact there, perhaps. Yep. Alright. You just got to clean and retension those jack contacts so when nothing's plugged in you won't have noise coming from the other channel unless the volume's down. I've got a little technique for doing that which I've shown on a couple of videos in the past. They are switchcrafts. These are actually really nice sounding amps, but unfortunately I don't have the mic in a position to show you. I could, nah, I'm not going to bother. Alright. Sorry about the overdrive there. For combos it's a pain in the ass because I can't just plug it into my underbench test cabinet that's constantly mic'd up. I'm not going to stuff around moving mics. I'm way too far behind to entertain that idea. Sorry, legends. If Fender really wanted the tweed reissued to look vintage, they'd use orangish tweed to match the amps that were made when everybody smoked everywhere in the factory, clubs and at home. TPS needs to send their J20 to Chris at Rift Amps for a safety rebuild. What, are they having issues with it, or just because it's a lazy J? No one's ever going to believe the lazy J thing, man. It's a cult, so there's no point. There's no point communicating with them until they've been deprogrammed. No matter what you say, no matter what evidence you provide, they'll come up with a post hoc rationalization as to why it's still the best thing on the face of Earth. No time for that shit. Oh, Brad, it's just because you're jealous. Like what? I'm jealous of a fucking fire hazard. Yeah, sure. Sure, buddy. Sure, buddy. Yep. Click. Chris is getting a lot of work rebuilding those amps. Yeah, but then it comes back to you shouldn't be. You should just say no. Because they deserve to be out there being unreliable and sounding like shit forever. Because he's essentially covering up for the helping cover up the fucking... I mean, he's publishing everything. That's what's good about it. He is publishing, documenting everything. But have you read the comments on his fucking channel too? Like, how many has he had now? And they're still like, oh, it's fakes. They're all fakes. They're fakes. Like, fuck off, mate. They say the same shit every time. Oh, the fucking... That's not my amp. Oh, it is my amp, but it was fine. It's like that story changes every 5 minutes. They're fucking liars, man. Same shit with that fucking roller amp. Got no time for it. I'm just not working on them anymore. Someone else can fucking deal with them. I'm not making something with that brand name on there sound good and be reliable. And they get credit for my work and the customer's expense. That's fucking horse shit. They should be relegated to the trash heap until their value drops down so low that it's not viable to make them anymore because everyone knows that they're shit. What's your name? Yes. Well, I'll sort the boys out and then I'll probably do some paperwork today because I need to fire off some invoices and quotes, and it's well overdue. Is there any reason major manufacturers haven't switched to toroidal transformers in their amps? Yeah, so they can be a little bit predisposed to saturation, and sometimes they present noise issues because all the noise radiates like a fucking laser beam from where the leads enter. But all of that can be managed. The main reason I think is just tradition. I've had some fantastic amps that use toroidal transformers, like the Hughes and Kettner Statesman, for example. Fantastic amp. You can pick them up for $1,000. They sound amazing. They're well built. I am a fan of that amp, and the Warp T, I think, was another one, higher gain sort of version of that one, about the same era, and they use toroidals for the output transformer as well as the power transformer. So there's no reason you can't. I think a lot of it's just tradition. Cold Acre, you going, legend? Yeah, but he never will. He believes all the nonsense. He should know better, having the G3 stuff, but no confidence in them with that. I'll buy an RGM Mastermind. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, how many of us need to document repairing those things before anyone will admit that there's a problem? It's ridiculous. But you know what? Like I said, I've seen the last one I'll ever see, because any more that come in, I'll decline. Because I want them to keep being what they are forever. Let's grab those tatties out of the tester. Pop them with the egnator. I need to do some video footage this week or next week, champions. I need to knuckle down and record some stuff. I really haven't felt like it, man. I don't like the sound of my own voice at the moment. I'm not feeling it, so. What else we got to suss out? I think I might call it there, champions, because I need to organise this place, and that's not very conducive to video. So let's have a quick chat, and then we'll call it for this week. Sorry about the short video. Yeah, I have been watching Chris's videos. He knows his stuff. It's seen some of his builds. He's making a 100-watt basement at the moment, which looks really nice. Later, Brad, have a beer. Not at this hour, Scotty. Still got 10 minutes, mate. It's all right. Not sure why OBS was shitting itself today, but it seems to have calmed down. I suppose we can have a quick look at the Rivera, eh? Now I've got hiccups. We do have a mess there as well. The customer's got 2 of the same amp. He just wants the same thing done to this. Did you ever check out Mile House Studios? No, I haven't had time. And I don't really want to watch guitar-oriented content when I'm not working, to be honest. He seems funny, but the humour does seem a little bit put on, so it doesn't feel natural, but that's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong there. I need to give him the benefit of the doubt and watch more material. I get a bit turned off by like performative personas on other channels. I like just the down-to-earth people. So like I prefer to watch like Frankie or Chris or Lyle than someone who makes a big show of it, you know, plays it up for the camera. Whiskey will cure those hiccups, yeah. Yeah, having Dad in town, we'll finally have a chance to taste that Whistle Pig, Mark, if you're there. We've been waiting until he comes to town to try it out. When wiring an IEC connector, what's the right spec source for wires? Can I just strip brown, blue, green wire from a properly rated extension leader? Is there a specific standard I should follow? I use a wire, I can't remember the jacket material, but it's not silicon, but it's got a very high melting point. So it's not going to melt if something fails near it or whatever. You can just use mains wiring, you know, mains lead. I just don't like it. It tends to have real thick individual wires, and it makes it a bit, I don't know, a bit agricultural to use. And the stuff I use is I got it in the proper color codes. I'll see if there's a number on the reel. Hang on. Alright, so this is from DigiKey. I get a blue... No, it's not Teflon. It's like a... Oh, hang on. That's the wrong stuff. Colorblind. It's like a... It feels like a silicon, but firmer. Alright, so this is DigiKey codes. I think they're still current. Oh, signal drops whenever I turn the soldering iron on there for a sec. I'll send a bit of a spike into the mains. Yeah, so you can see the -ND on the end. That's the DigiKey codes there. So it's like a firm, but it's not PVC, but it feels like a firm silicon. I'm not sure what it actually is, but it doesn't melt. No melty. So I've got that in the blue and the brown. And then for the earth, because I'm only running a super short one, I just use no, I'm not getting that down. It's in the wire rig, but yeah, use the yellow and green stuff for the proper color code, which is something a lot of builders don't do, and actually I think that is required by law to use the proper color codes. Hey, let's have a quick look at this one, eh? Why not? Why not? Oh, doxing customers again. The only reason to not be yourself is if being yourself isn't working out for you, in which case perhaps you should try being someone else. Yeah. Well, I don't know if being myself is working out for me, but I know that it would feel weird to try and be anything but whatever the fuck this is. You're like all my mates that are in this field that I converse with online, be it from the YouTube world or from just the tech world in general. They're always, talking to them is always the exact same as seeing any material they produce, right?
They're the exact same person. They act the same. They laugh and joke the same. I find it real hard to believe that some of these guys are like they are on their videos. Okie dokie, so overall not a bad one. Not too hectic. Looks like there's maybe a replace, yeah, suntan cap. So that's a J-Car brand. And J-Car's the shop you go to here only if you absolutely have to. Ooh, I've got a burn there on the pilot light. Let me just get rid of the cabinet. Man, I really like IEC leaded amps. It pisses me off when they've got the permanently connected mains lead. It's so annoying to work on. What's this? It's Star Wars quotes. Interesting. See down there, the old pilot light's had a rough go. I'm wondering if someone's wired that up to the wrong tap. It's 125 volt. Have they wired it to the 240 perhaps? Maybe at some point. You've got 13k subs, it's working out. Yeah, I mean, I'm grateful for all that, Scotty. It's been a hard slog, but sometimes you get a bit in the numbers and in your head, and you see these other channels overtake you when they only just got created, like last year. Oh, so we've had an exploded desk cap, and there's actually been some literally fucking skid marks on the chassis there even. Can we go to manual mode? Yes, I can go to manual mode because it's a penny boy and there's a lever right there for it. You can actually do the old manual focus assist. Look at that. It's skid mark. So, yeah, someone's replaced it with the same incorrectly rated cap. Yeah, so we'll be getting rid of that. Absolutely no need for it with a 3-prong plug. Ridiculous. Yeah, it'd be the dropping. I reckon it's on the wrong tap there, Gooden. Well, let's have a look. That wire goes under there. Let's get the continuity tester on it. Alright, so yeah, active comes in there, goes to the fuse tip. Well, I got that right. Get back to autofocus. Autofocus. Continuity. Right, and you go to that. So that's the active, and then on the other side, need to follow that wire. Yeah. So that's what's up, and they've wired it. They've wired it directly up to the mains, even though it's 125 volt neon. So that dropper resistance dissipated way too much. So I'll look at getting a new pilot light for that. It could still work, but hey Lyle, how you going, legend? You just popped right in, right as I'm about to fuck off. I've got to get the boys sorted out, get them, get jobs assigned to them for the day. See, I'm just going to assume the usual stuff on here. He said there's no like issues with it. He just wants the same upgrades done to it as the other one. So I can arrange that. Oh, there's more of my Velcro bits gone. Oh, I'll put them in there. Mr. Boogie. Yeah. Alright, put that one aside. I'll just copy the quote from the last one. I'll test the valves though. Yeah, they're looking pretty tight. I'll probably just replace them. I don't trust the EL34s in this thing because EL84s in this thing because they're already run well beyond their spec. Obviously a 400, 600 volt DC rated cap isn't sufficient. Is a 1 kV rated class X or what? Yeah, that'd be okay. But again, there's no point using it to on any amp that's got a 3-prong plug. It's like you're defeating the purpose. And everything should have a 3-prong plug in this day and age. So you can use an X or Y. 22 cal, yeah, that's right. She's a 22 cal, non-EQ version. Kind of sucks. You can chuck an EQ pedal in the FX loop on them though, and that sort of gets you back into the non-nasal, horrible, woofy, barky, cardboardy sound that these things have. They've just got this massive peak around 700 hertz. I don't know how they did it. Looking at the circuit, I still haven't sort of analysed it enough to figure out how they get that horrible, honky sort of frequency response. But yeah, you chuck a EQ pedal in the FX loop and you can hollow that out. Horrible amps, yeah they are. But they're actually, you know, let's admit it, Lyle, they're actually frustratingly reliable compared considering how poorly they're constructed. Like, I often get ones in from the 80s that have been used like every weekend, and they're only just starting to fail now. So, broken clock, am I right? Sometimes it doesn't instantly fail. Is it worthwhile using safety caps for filtering AC spikes to ground? You can. Generally, I'll just use those enclosed line filters, though. You know, the IEC metal ones that have all that shit built in. And then you don't have to worry about it. I have had one of them fail internally, though. It had a short and it kept blowing fuses, and I'm chasing red herrings all through the amp. It turned out it was the actual IEC input itself that had failed, which I hadn't seen before. That was fun. Anyway, legends, I'm going to take off. It's 10 to 10, and I need to organise this workshop and need to set the boys up for 3/4 of a day's work. So until next time, are you streaming tomorrow, Lyle? Any streams tomorrow? Any plans, or you haven't decided yet? They don't sound good, so who cares about the duration of the suck? Yeah. Yeah. Parko's got a few fixes for some of the issues, but you shouldn't have to fix it. You shouldn't have to fix all that shit. They were the sort of affordable boogie, but they're still fucking expensive. Still rather work on one of these than a Mark 7. So no live stream tomorrow, Lyle? Any live stream? Yes, about to put up stream announcement. Ah, there we go. Alright, legends. Well, I'll see you all in Lyle's chat. Doing a lot of family and friend stuff this weekend, so I won't have a chance to do anything but this. And probably won't have a chance to film anything next week either. Every day's been go, 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 go. And I always have a backlog of 20 or so emails to answer in my downtime. I've got to get back to accounting and answering 500 emails. So, yay. Anyway, take it easy, legends, and I'll catch you in Lyle's chat tomorrow. Behave yourself or I'll kick your ass. Until then.